Hello guys, welcome. I've got a short Veilguard news video today, so grab yourself a nice warm cup of tea and let's jump straight in. So yesterday, as of the writing of this script, on the 4th of October, BioWare announced that Dragon Age Veilguard has officially gone gold. For those of you unfamiliar with the term, gone gold comes from the term a gold master. Back in the good old days of physical media, when a game was ready to be distributed, its final build would be put onto a CD-ROM, which would be referred to as the gold master due to the disc being gold-plated. After that, the game would be sent out for printing, packaging, and distribution to retailers. So, in short, gone gold simply means the game is officially finished and ready for release. The current build of the game is the build that we will be playing when the game comes out. Though, unlike back in the day, the game may still receive patches and updates after its release. So yeah, it's exciting to know that Dragon Age Veilguard is now officially finished. And with a bit less than a month left until the release, I'm really hoping that they will release the character creator early. A lot of fans, including me, really want the character creator early because, well, we just want to get our grubby hands on the game already. But also because we will likely spend a lot of time in the character creator. Especially since we will not only be creating our Rook, but we will also be recreating our Inquisitor. That's 2 characters. I remember spending around 1.5 to 2 hours in the Baldur's Gate 3 character creator when it released. I imagine I'm going to be spending at least as much time in the Veilguard character creator. And with Baldur's Gate 3, I was already familiar with most of the options because I had played the early access. With Veilguard, I'm going to be spending at least half an hour just looking through all of the options without even touching my character. Releasing the character creator early would give us some extra time to spend on our characters before release, so we can make sure they look all nice and pretty. It's been confirmed that we can save our character's appearance and import it to a new save. So ideally, we get to create our character early and import that appearance and then jump straight into the game on release day. The developers haven't really said much about an early character creator release. The closest thing that I could find was a quote from a Eurogamer article. When asked at a preview event whether it was under consideration, the game's co-director Corinne Bush replied, "It's a much requested feature. We're to be determined on that, but it would be pretty stinking cool." So, while nothing official has been said regarding an early character creator, we do know that a lot of us have asked for it and that the developers are aware. Hopefully, they manage to pull it off. And I'm gonna say it now, if they do release the character creator early, I'm going to be streaming it, so you'll all get to watch me create my Rook in real time. And maybe my Inquisitor if they decide to include that. I haven't really talked much about my Rook on the channel. The only things I might have mentioned are her class and the faction she's going to be a part of, but I do have a pretty good idea of what kind of person she is going to be. And I'm also very curious about all of your Rooks, so that might be a fun topic to talk about during the stream. But yeah, all of that depends on whether or not they actually release the character creator early, so I'll just move on before I get carried away. So that was the main bit of news that I wanted to talk about, but there is something else I want to touch on. If you haven't heard, an IGN article recently released some more information about some of the Inquisition choices that carry over into Veilguard. This is quite a bit of a marketing spoiler, I would say, so if you don't want to know about it, it's best to click off the video now. In that case, thank you so much for watching. To everyone that's still here, yeah, let's talk about the choices that will matter in Veilguard. So, we don't really get a whole lot of choices, only a few relating to the state of the Inquisition and to your Inquisitor's romance. Not exactly what I expected, or expected at all, really. I do have a lot to say about this as well as a lot of feelings, but I'm going to try to keep this brief. So, I was honestly a little bit sad when I heard a lot of the choices we made aren't going to play a major role in Veilguard. I was surprised about the Well of Sorrows, as that had a pretty major impact on whoever drank from it. Whether it was Morrigan or the Inquisitor, both of which were going to meet in Veilguard, you'd think the knowledge they gained from the well would come in very handy when trying to fight a couple of evil elven gods, right? Like, surely that's something the Inquisitor or Morrigan would bring up. I'm also a little disappointed the Warden Contact and Hawk choice isn't something we can set in the beginning, since that choice was such a painful one for a lot of people, especially if you had to choose between Alistair and Hawk. Like, how do I choose between these two? And I guess it's just sad that such an impactful choice is seemingly not going to matter as much as we hoped. I know we're not going to find out what happened to the person that was left in the Fade, they've already confirmed that. But there's also still so many questions surrounding whoever survived and their connection to the Grey Wardens. The choice that hurt the most by far for me, though, is Kieran's existence. I honestly, genuinely thought that choice was going to come up in Veilguard. Maybe it's just my personal bias, but Kieran has had such a major impact on Morrigan's character development. I've already talked about it a little bit in a previous video, but I absolutely adore Morrigan's journey as a character and her relationship with Flemeth. So much so that I want to make a video about it someday. The confrontation with Flemeth in the Fade with old god baby Kieran is still one of my favorite and most memorable moments in the entire Dragon Age series ever. The way Kieran's existence affects the way Morrigan looks back on her own childhood and how she's willing to sacrifice herself for her son. I'm gonna need to stop myself here, otherwise we'll be here for another hour. Point is, I really hoped this development for Morrigan with Kieran would come up in Veilguard since it seems so important for her character. I can also understand why Morrigan would want to keep Kieran's existence quiet as much as she could, because she wants to protect him. She likely wouldn't want him to be dragged into this mess. Plus, the guy's like 20 now, he's probably off doing his own thing. But, with all of that said, maybe these things will come up in some way. The major choices we get to make during character creation, at the start of the game. My hope is that there are some choices we get to make during conversation. Like, maybe we get to have a conversation with someone about the Divine, and the character is like, yeah, that fake Divine in Orlais, wasn't she part of the Inquisition or something? And then our Rook can be like, oh yeah, the Enchanter, I think her name was Vivienne? Or, yeah, I heard she used to be the Inquisition's spy master. You know, like that. And I guess there's a chance that certain choices will be brought up if there is ever a Dragon Age 5. We'll have to wait and see though. To summarize my feelings on this, I'm a little disappointed and confused about the exclusion of certain major choices, but I also want to wait and see what happens in the game. For now, I do trust that everything will be explained as we play through the story. And if not, I will make sure to bring that up when I talk about the game after I finish playing it. Choices and consequences have always been one of the main staples for the Dragon Age games, so I understand why having so few choices carry over from Inquisition is such a disappointment to many. But at the end of the day, the developers only have limited time and resources, and they can't include everything. I get that. I am still really excited for this game and looking forward to seeing where the story goes. I guess that's all I have to say on the topic for now. Lady Sulevin has a really nice and well put together video on the choices topic. She has a lot of similar thoughts on this, and I just really appreciate her way of looking at this. So yeah, I really recommend you go check out her video. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's me caught up with the Veilguard news again. Unless anything else major releases in terms of the news, I'm gonna go back to releasing my Veilguard lore prep and my Dragon Age short story narration videos, of which I will be releasing one, sometimes two, every week leading up to Veilguard's release. Not a lot of people know about the Dragon Age short stories, but they're actually really relevant for the next game, so if you haven't heard about them, definitely check out my narration videos. I had a lot of fun working on them. Anyway, I've rambled enough, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, let me know by liking this video, or leave a comment and let me know what you think of everything we talked about in this video, even if you disagree. But, you know, keep things civil, don't be an ass. If you want to have a chat sometime, feel free to join my Discord server. If you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon. That's it for now though. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.